Section 3 of the CAMS examination focuses on AML, CFT, and sanctions compliance programs and represents the largest portion of the exam at 28%. This domain evaluates a candidate's ability to design, implement, manage, and continuously improve risk-based compliance frameworks within financial institutions. Effective compliance programs serve as the first line of defense against money laundering, terrorist financing, sanctions violations, and other financial crimes. Regulatory authorities worldwide expect institutions to establish comprehensive systems that identify, assess, monitor, and mitigate risks. Consequently, AML professionals must understand not only regulatory requirements but also how to translate those requirements into practical policies, procedures, controls, and governance structures. A foundational component of every compliance program is the institution-wide risk assessment. The CAMS examination requires candidates to understand how organizations evaluate risks associated with customers, products, services, delivery channels, geographic locations, and business activities. Risk assessments help institutions allocate resources effectively and apply controls proportionate to identified threats. AML professionals must recognize situations where risks remain unmitigated and determine appropriate corrective actions. A strong risk assessment framework supports informed decision-making and provides the basis for customer due diligence, transaction monitoring, sanction screening, and ongoing risk management. Effective risk assessments ensure that compliance programs remain aligned with evolving financial crime threats. Governance and leadership oversight are critical elements of an effective AML compliance program. The examination emphasizes the responsibilities of senior management and the board of directors in establishing a strong compliance culture. Leadership is expected to provide adequate resources, approve policies, oversee risk management activities, and ensure accountability throughout the organization. Candidates must understand how governance structures support compliance objectives and facilitate regulatory compliance. Effective oversight ensures that AML risks receive appropriate attention at the highest organizational levels. Institutions with strong governance frameworks are better positioned to identify weaknesses, respond to emerging risks, and maintain regulatory confidence. Customer onboarding and due diligence procedures are also central topics within this domain. Financial institutions must establish processes to verify customer identities, understand beneficial ownership structures, assess customer risk profiles, and determine appropriate monitoring requirements. Enhanced due diligence (EDD) may be required for higher-risk customers, including politically exposed persons, PEPs, complex corporate structures, or customers operating in high-risk jurisdictions. The examination evaluates a candidate's ability to apply risk-based customer acceptance procedures and identify situations requiring additional scrutiny. Effective onboarding procedures help institutions prevent criminals from gaining access to financial systems while supporting regulatory expectations for customer transparency and accountability. Transaction monitoring, sanctions compliance, and suspicious activity detection are among the most important operational functions of AML programs. Institutions must utilize systems and controls capable of identifying unusual account activity, suspicious transactions, sanctions matches, and other indicators of financial crime. The examination assesses knowledge of automated monitoring tools, sanction screening processes, and methods for improving operational efficiency and accuracy. Candidates must understand how to recognize red flags associated with cash transactions, wire transfers, trade finance, investment activities, and account misuse. Effective monitoring enables institutions to detect suspicious behavior promptly and take appropriate investigative or reporting actions. Another major focus of this domain involves reporting obligations and regulatory interaction. AML professionals must know when suspicious activity reports, SARs, or suspicious transaction reports, STRs, should be filed and how related information must be protected. Institutions are required to respond appropriately to law enforcement inquiries, regulatory requests, and sanctions obligations while maintaining confidentiality requirements. The examination evaluates a candidate's ability to determine appropriate responses to suspicious activity and regulatory developments. Proper reporting not only satisfies legal requirements but also contributes valuable intelligence that assists authorities in identifying and disrupting criminal organizations, terrorist networks, and other illicit activities. Training, auditing, and program effectiveness reviews are essential mechanisms for maintaining strong compliance programs. The CAMS examination highlights the importance of targeted AML training tailored to different roles and responsibilities within an organization. Employees must understand applicable risks, policies, and reporting obligations relevant to their functions. Independent audits play an equally important role by assessing program effectiveness, identifying control weaknesses, and validating compliance with regulatory requirements. Candidates must understand the importance of auditor independence and risk-based audit approaches. Continuous training and objective testing ensure that compliance programs remain effective, adaptable, and capable of responding to changing financial crime threats. Finally, Section 3 emphasizes continuous improvement and enterprise-wide risk management. Financial institutions operate in dynamic environments where products, technologies, customer behaviors, regulations, and criminal methodologies constantly evolve. AML professionals must understand how internal and external factors trigger reassessments of compliance programs and require policy, procedure, technology, or training enhancements. The examination also addresses enterprise-wide compliance strategies for organizations operating across multiple jurisdictions and business lines. By integrating governance, risk assessment, customer due diligence, monitoring, reporting, training, and auditing into a unified framework, institutions can effectively manage AML, CFT, and sanctions risks while maintaining regulatory compliance and protecting organizational integrity.